So here, once we will go for the RDS, it took around 45 minutes to complete AWS RDS SQL Server instance deployment. Okay. So
Okay.
let me go through the parameters available.
Okay.
Yeah. So go to the databases. Yeah. So this is the instance level, right? So these are the properties you can get it from there only. Okay. Connectivity, how many sessions are active, what is the CPU utilization, a status and all. Okay. What is the VPC and all. If you want to modify, simply select this instance, click on modify. You can modify the required instances, like you can drop the, you can disable the public access, you can change the parameter group or options group. You can change it to the multi-agent. Okay, monitoring point of view. So many parameters you can change by by going through the options. So it's taking time. Yeah. So see licensing model. Okay, you can choose the database instance class. Let's see, you want to change different. You can change it. You want to change the database size, a storage size, right? You can change it from here. Security group you can change. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the database options group, other option group, other parameter group you can change. Okay. Retention period you can change. Okay. Like a Windows.
Parameter group. That is the default group name, right?
Yeah, these are the default group, right? We have never created. Let's say I can create it and I can attach that, parameter group or instance group, different one, right? So you can attach it.
Yeah. Okay.
Database backup retention period you can change. Okay. So these are the, these are the parameters or setting you can change. Enhanced monitoring you can change, enable also. Enhanced monitoring was happen, it will give you the real-time matrices. Real-time matrices you will get it in the under the enhanced monitoring. Okay.
Okay.
So how the see enable enhanced monitoring matrices are useful when you want to see how different processes or threads use the CPU, right? So it will in the we have enabled the monitoring, but it will show the overall CPU utilization, right, on certain particular time. But in our on premises, let's say I'm going through this like that. Go to the task manager. From here, in the performance tab, we are only getting what is the CPU utilization, what is the memory utilization. That's it, right? But what process are using my CPU utilization, right? That is we can get from here. Go to process, okay, and each process we can get it, right? Which process is using my how much CPU or the memory or the disk, right? So the same at the process level, information process level, data you can get it under enable enhanced monitoring using the enhanced monitoring. Get it? Let's select I would like to enable the enhanced monitoring. Granularity you can change the setting, let's say within 1 second, for each and every second I will get the data, right? Monitoring role, let's you should have some IAM role assigned to monitor the instance. So either you can create it, either you can default one. Okay. So let's enable it. So these are the changes setting you can enable from there. So after the changer, okay, deletion protection is not enabled. Let's enable it. Now continue. See, what are the values changing, right? Enable enhanced monitoring, it was current value, new value, yes. Granularity is for the 0, I will change to 1. Monitoring rule I have assigned. Grid protection is initially it was disabled, I have enabled it, right? So these are the changes attributes will be get reflected in your on your AWS RDS instance. Now, when you like to apply these changes, right now, other sub next maintenance window. See, apply the changes, ever changes. The next schedule maintenance window, this will happen on this particular time. Either you want to apply the changes immediately. Select 45 dB.
Maintenance window means outage.
No. Maintenance window means not outage.
It will be in a
And
shutdown.
every server has a maintenance window, right? Maintenance
Yeah,
window means where business will have the less impact.
business
Okay.
will have its some back. Okay.
So these are the changes has been applied, right? Now you can check it. You can get it from say here.
From where you take that from the dashboard.
No, simply select it and modify. What you're asking?
From where you got that options, the changes.
What access?
Previously you shown, right? Some changes, all over the changes from.
What? I'm not getting it. Come again.
Yeah, you made some changes, right?
Yeah. I will show you. So see, in the current status, it's showing
all
here.
the stuff, right?
Yeah. Configuring enhanced monitoring, right?
Yeah,
It's enabling. It's currently wanting, and unless it will not in available state, okay, this will not going to reflect. So give some time. Okay, it's now changing. Okay, you can get it from here. So simply click on that. Now you will get many information from there. See, connectivity, engine, everything, right? Which region, what is the class of there, what is the status, right? Now connectivity. This is the endpoint we were talking about, right? Using this endpoint only, we will connect this SQL server from my on premises. Okay, I will show you how to connect. And this is the default port. Now coming to networking. This is the DPC. This is the subnet group, and this is the security group, right? Publicly access, yes. Certificate. This is by default. Others. Now comes security rules, right? There are 2 rules are there as of now, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Outbound. Replication is not enabled. Okay. IAM role is not available. Okay. Now coming to monitoring, right? Go to the configuration. See, database engine, database name is not there, right? License model, yes. What we have changed it? We have changed delete protection. It was disabled, now it's enabled. Get it?
Okay.
It's a parameter group. This is the sync state. Multi-agent not enabled, right? And one more thing, we have enabled what? We have enabled now one more thing. We had enabled one more thing. Let me show you what are the enhanced monitoring, right?
Yeah.
So it is still in the enhanced monitoring. This is still in enabling, right? So this will show you. Now go to the connectivity. These are the things you can get it from there. Now monitoring, right? So see how you can monitor the database instance. Now come to here. This is the CloudWatch. CloudWatch is basically used to see the logs and each and everything. Okay. You can even read the logs, each and everything from there. So see how the CPU utilization, memory utilization, right? Database, how many connections are there. Okay. See, once you click on that, you can get matrices. Now I want to the CPU utilization. See, this is the database instance name. On which particular time, what was the CPU, right? Right?
Okay.
You can get it from there. Average, either you can minimum, either maximum. Either we can get it minimum or maximum, right? In minimum it was. See here. Get it? Now the range, last 1 hour, last 2 days, like 1 week. Okay. And what is the will be the interval? 1 minute or 2 minutes or all. Okay.
Automatically it is configured in CloudWatch.
Yeah, automatically. I am not configured, but we have selected the monitoring parameters, right? I have selected the enable monitoring. That's why it's showing. Right?
Enable enhanced monitoring.
Not enhanced monitoring. 2 types. Enhanced monitoring and default monitoring is there. And in the under the enhanced monitoring, it will show. Let's see. Here CPU utilization is how much percent it is? 89%, right? So once we will enable the enhanced monitoring, under that we will show you what are the parameters, what are the other process are utilizing the CPU, so that it went up to 89%. Okay. Now database connections, how many connections are there? Free storage space, okay, how many free spaces are there? Okay, freeable memory, write IOPS you can see, read IOPS you can see, right? Just simply click on there. See, this is the enhanced monitoring. You can get the also the OS process list. Simply click there. See, these are the OS process. Okay. See which process are utilizing the how many. Just a moment. Hello. Yeah, sorry. So you can get the also from the process list. What are the process are using and how much memory and CPU gets utilizing, right? Now, performance insight you can get it from there also. Okay.
Okay.
As well. Either let's see, go to the enhancement. It's enabled or still in progress. Let me refresh option is there. No, still it's Let me come here. Let me refresh it. Available, right? It's done, right?
Yeah.
Now we will check it. Click here. Now go to monitoring. Monitoring is very, very important things, okay? In terms of DB activity, like if someone reporting that, I have the database is working was slow. So we can check on that particular time, watch what the, CPU utilization, even the memory connect, how many connections was there, what was the, memory utilization was there, right? So we can get it from there, okay? So once, well, let's go to the enhanced monitoring. See here. See. Right? So available memory, right? Once you will click here, it will get the value, right? Once you go to here, hold on. CPU, click on CPU users here.
Yeah.
At certain particular time, we can get it, right? Let's say I would like on 17, I would like to go for the 5, then on what particular minute and second, get it? See here.
Okay.
Get it or not? You can get, let's say at 5 o'clock, either 5, 1 minute, 5 or 2 minutes. At every particular second you can get, right?
Okay.
Hour and minute, right?
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah, got it.
Once you will click on there, so for that particular time only it will show the details. Now go for the next time. Let's see 8. Is there anything? Yeah, see. Now click here. See 5:11, 5:12, right? 5:13. You can get the information from here. Okay.
Yeah.
Available memory. How much memory was there? 5 or 10, 11, 5 or 12, 5 or 13 for 1 minute interval, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Now we can get it from here also. Process list we have checked, right? Enhancement we have checked, right? Other people simply go to the simply monitoring. Okay. Now this is the enhanced monitoring, right? Now simply click the monitoring. Okay. Yeah. So see, now came back or not original, right? So here this is no only option for let's I would like to check the 10 and 5 minutes. Okay. So no any information.
Okay. Right? So basically the CloudWatch and Performance Insights both are same, right?
Yeah, come again.
Performance Insights and CloudWatch are both are same.
No. Performance Insight I'm coming to here. Let's say I go to the Performance Insight. You can get it from here. Other we can get from here also. Performance Insight. So monitoring part is clear, right? So now go to the Performance Insight. So now you have to select the instance first.
Okay.
This is the instance, right? Let me show you what are the other matrices are available, right?
Yeah, but both will give the performance analysis, right?
Yeah, this will give you the, see, even under the CloudWatch or the monitoring, it will give you the CPU utilization, memory utilization, storage utilization, and how many database connections are there, right? But what was the session ID, what was the query was running, okay? That you cannot get from the monitoring. That you can get it from where? That you will get from Performance Insight. Let me show you. This is a Performance Insight, okay? So view past how long you would like to see the data. Let's say I would like to see last 1 hour, right? You have to check it. Let's say for 5 hours, you just have to select it. Okay. So
1 minute.
Now you can manage the matrices. So come to here. What matrices you can select? See, OS matrices. These are the OS matrices you can see. Okay. These are the operating system matrices regarding the threads, regarding the process. Okay.
Okay.
Now at the disk level, total KB, available KB, read byte per second, write byte per second, right? Disk latency you can check, right? CPU utilization you can check, number of virtual CPU you can check, right? These are the matrices available at what? Operating system level. Now I have to check at the database level. So come to here. What metrics you want to monitor? I have, let's see, select the page reads, leave it, let the memory grant pending, like latch weight we can check. Okay, locking or blocking we can check, right? We can check also the user connection. Okay, whatever the required. Let's see the page speed. So these are the parameters you can monitor. You can get the data from the performance insight as well as at the operating system level. Get it?
Yeah.
Now let's update the graph. I have selected some database level parameters, right? So these are the, see, for each parameters, database transactions, right? General process block, number of deadlock. These are the parameters I have selected, right? So you can get the data from there. Okay, let's say I would like to data about this particular. So select this one. Either these parameters will be get selected, right?
Okay.
See,
Yeah.
see how many active transactions were there at this particular time. Click here. See 0 transactions, right? See 0 transactions are there. See 0 transactions are there. Now I want to check. Now click again. Now I would like to check this one. Let's see. Process block. Now this will only show, right? How many process blocks were there on that, which particular time and which one, right?
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah, got it.
Now coming to lower side. See database load. Average active sessions you can get. Okay, average active sessions you can get. Right now come to here. See, these are the average active sessions on which maximum virtual CPU there. Let's see here.
Okay.
Here what was happened? Resource semaphore was there, right? Here the maximum active average sessions. So how many sessions are active? See here, right? So it was around one average active session access, right? So it is around coming to the 3.4 and all, right? Value, right? So if you enter the graph, you can check that how how my CPU getting utilized, right? How my CPU getting utilized from there only we can check. Okay, see CPU, see what was the CPU here? Here the resource method there, right? So CPU was 0%, right?
Yeah.
Now coming to here, this is very, very important. Top weights. What is the weight types? What are the top weights? Yeah, hello? Hello? Been you there?
Yes, actually my plug was not inserted correctly. Now it's charging. Yeah. Okay.
It's good now?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So this is the top weights. See, there are many top weights on the SQL server which impact the performance, right? So we can get what are the top weights are there. Okay. So let's say I would like to select this one, page IO latch. This is a weight type, right? So on the latter graph over there, this will show the CPU utilization and it will show the only graph which I have selected. Page IO latch SS shared log, right? Selected, right? So we'll go to here. See, page IO latch on this particular time on 510, it was 0.2 and it was 100%. Right? Now I
Okay.
would like to select about the CPU. Now select this one. Now go to the above graph. See, nothing but there around, right? 0%.
Yeah.
Right? So you can
Yeah.
for each and every weight type, you can get it what was the value on that particular time. See here, nothing was there. Right?
Okay.
Now coming to here, now top SQL. What was the top running SQL query? What was the query running by this? What was the all queries which was running on the SQL server? Right? You can get from here.
Okay.
Even you will select this one, okay, you can get the data from here. See, you can copy it and later you can analyze and all. You can download this script or you simply copy, you simply click copy, okay, and later in based on your SQL capability, you can, let's see some performances were there, right? So you can work on that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So here also, now you can select here also, you can download as well. See, you can download a script as well. Okay, you can download it.
Okay.
This is a SQL script which I have. Now you can start working on that. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so why it was colorful? Why it's giving the colorful? That's was based on top weight type. See, green CPU. Now coming to here, green is there, right? CPU utilization is there, right? So overall load by weight type, so it was the overall value was 0. It was less than 0.01. Okay. So this is not the high, resource consuming SQL script. But if the database had the more and more load, okay, based on that, you will get the different report over there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
At the session ID, you can simply connect. You can, check what are the SQL queries are running. Okay. You can going from there. Okay. Now top hosts. Top host means SQL Server instance can be accessible from many users, right? Maybe I am accessing, maybe you are accessing as well, right? So that you can check that based on the host, like which resource, which host are using, what kind of resources, right? Let's select this one, top host. It will show here. It will show here. See here. Get it?
Okay.
So what was the CPU utilization? What CPU utilization by using this particular host, right? See here, CPU utilization around 0, right? See here, around 0.0, 50% there on the 430, right? Now page IO latch, this icon, go to here. These icon are page IO latch, right? So once I will let's select that these are the suspicious. This is using the highest resources. So simply select the resource. On top of that, you can get the graph from here. That this host is using which resource by how much percentage. Based on that, I can start working on that. Get it?
Okay. Okay.
Top users, maybe multiple users are getting connected to the SQL server, right?
Yeah.
For each users, you can analyze that which user is using what kind of resources. May let's say this user is having the 99% CPU utilization, right? Maybe. Okay. Now we can check that what SQL script is getting executed by this one. Right? We can get it.
Yeah.
So we can get it from top SQL only. Okay.
Okay.
Top users. Now coming to here. So these are the parameters you can change. You can get it from the bar or you can change it to the line as well. Okay.
Okay.
See the line. How it look like. Get it? Any question regarding the performance inside?
No, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
In my project, performance insights was only enabled. CloudWatch is not enabled.
Come again?
Some type of instance. In my account, only performance insights are enabled. CloudWatch is not enabled.
Yeah, CloudWatch means the monitoring is not enabled. It may be the monitoring is not enabled, right? It's your choice. They can enable. But this is the good practice
so that
to have the
parameter is monitoring, right? Enable monitoring.
Yeah, monitoring. Now let me show you. Let me show you. Go to the database. Okay. Now select the modify instance. You can ask to enable the advanced enhanced monitoring. This is very useful, man. This is very useful for database monitoring point of view. See here.
So default performance insight is there.
No,
right?
By default, nothing is enabled. Connectivity
okay.
by default, performance insight is not enabled. You have to enable. Okay. See, additional parameters. Monitoring, right?
Yeah.
You have to check that one. Okay. Performance change, you cannot. It's your choice, right?
Okay.
Get it?
Okay.
Till now, any question, any doubt?
No.
So far, we have discussed about the monitoring. Okay, how we can monitor the OS process, performance insight, enhance monitoring. Okay, now we can get it from log and event. See here, log and event we can get from here. Recent log. See this is the sequence of our logs, right? These are the logs. Recent log, and these are the all logs are available. You can simply click here. Okay, and you can simply click here, you can view the logs. These are the SQL Server log, right?
Okay.
Change the background as well, right? Need change the background. You can get these are the SQL Server error log. See, if something happened, then you can get the log from there only. So for that also you have to enable, right? So here, go to the logs event. Okay. Now here, these are the current logs are there. Current log, right? These are the current logs. But for the past log, we can get just below that. Let's say I want to check the log from this particular time. Simply click here. You can reach. Even you can download and work on that. Okay. Even you can download and right click the download link and to save link as.
Okay. So this is the log we can refer any error on SQL Server. Error log, right?
See, this is the error log.
Okay.
Like we see the error log on our on-premises instance. Okay.
Okay.
Go to here. Go to logs. For past log, you can simply you can view from here, which we have seen right now, right?
Yeah.
Now, go to the configuration. These are the configuration which we have enabled, right? Get it?
Yeah.
CloudWatch log. So you can simply click here error log, right?
Yeah.
Click here, and it will directly bring into the CloudWatch. CloudWatch is basically from where you can read the logs. Okay, you can do the logging kind of things. See here, all logs are available here. See, get it?
Okay.
Actions. You can copy, view the log insights. Okay, you can do the R&D over there also. Okay, view log insights. See, you can query the logs, right? You can query that I would like to only see that particular query, from the logs only. Okay. Go to here logs, log groups. See, one log group was there. This is the MySQL instance log, right? Here, see, creation time 1 hour ago, right? These are the log alarms. So, okay, loggers events. You will go to the events. Okay, no rules are there. So hold on. From there, simply see these are the logs available, right? From there we can see also, right?
Yeah.
Any doubt till now? Any questions?
No.
Now, just I will take 4 to 5 minutes more. Okay. See, other things. Parameter groups we have discussed, right? Parameters group we have discussed, right? Options group we have discussed, right? This is nothing but only for the database backup point of view, right? You can get the parameters group. Simply get the parameters group.
The parameters for backup, right?
Parameters
needed for backup, right?
Backup point of view.
Okay.
Okay. Backup point of view.
Okay.
Okay, I will show you later on also, at least param option group.
Okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
now coming to here, database instances. I would like to show you one or more things more. Now, how to connect? So we have discussed connectivity. These are the things. Monitoring we have discussed, right? Log, how to check the logs we have discussed, right? Everything we have discussed, right? And now the configuration we have checked, right? What are the configuration? Each and every information you can get it from here, right? Now, maintenance and backup. Auto minor version update enable. Maintenance window is this one, right? So backup is there, right? Latest, last restoration time. Automated backup is enabled, right? Backup window is this particular time. On this particular time, database backup will be happening. Okay.
Okay.
Now coming to connect this, discuss maintenance backup we have discussed. We will more discuss about the theoretical part if required. Okay. Now coming to here, how to connect the database. Okay, you can see the recommendations for each every instance. You will see the recommendations, right? See, for this database instance, it's saying that switch to general purpose or provision storage, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Magnetic storage is not recommended for the most database instance. These are the suggestions it's giving.
Okay.
Okay. Now coming to it. Now we will connect now. How do we connect? So how to connect? Just click on there. We will connect using what? Endpoint, right? Now click copy this. Just open your SSMS. Now paste the instance name. Now along with port number 1433 port, right? Now give the login name, admin by login name, right? And the password. Let's make wider password. It's get connected. Why it get connected? Because let me show you one thing. Because VPC security group, right? Once you will go to VPC security group,
this public
inbound rule you have to check. Just select here. Inbound rule is there, right? Just you will click security group. See, inbound rule is there. It's allowing, see, port 1433 port is allowed. So let me edit inbound rule. Let me show you. Delete this rule. Okay. No rules are present, right? Now disconnect it and connect it again. It will not connect. Okay, it will not connect.
Okay.
It will not connect. So if you are unable to connect the DB instance, ERDS instance from your local machine, okay, means where you have to work, you have to work on access level, means security group. These points you should keep in mind. See, not connected. Not connected means what? I am connecting from my local laptop, right? Means connection is not allowed in security group for my local workstation to RDS instance. So where we will jump in that situation? Go to the instance. Now we will check what is the security group associated with this RDS instance. This is the security group, right? Just click on that. Just click on that. Just click on the security group. Now go to the inbound rule. Right? No inbound rule is present. Now simply I will click on inbound rule is there. Now I will add rule. Security rule group I will leave it. What is which resource you will access? Secret server, right? So 1433 port is my secret server is running on 1433 port, right? Now come to here. MS SQL. See, default port is 1433 port given, right? Now source, from where you will access? Anywhere, means you can also access. If source is given 0.0.0.00/0 means this is saying that anyone from the world can access.
Okay.
I would like to only access from my IP address, means this laptop IP address. Automatically it will populate the IP address. Get it?
Oh, it will automatically take if you select
Yeah,
a label.
IAPLs. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now save rules.
Okay.
Now I have allowed, right? I have
Yeah.
allowed to access RDS instance from my system only. Now open. Now connect. Why man? Let me give the password. Get it? Concept clear or
Yeah,
not?
got it.
Connectivity point of view.
Yeah, clear, clear.
So this is the express edition. That's why SQL Server agent is not coming here. Okay.
Okay.
Now we can
Okay.
explore the database. By default, RDS admin database gets created by default. This
Okay.
is not allowed. You are not allowed to edit anything on the RDS admin database. This will not allow to edit. Okay. Now see what are the tables are available. See, backup information, right? DB drop activity, like audit point of view, these are the information are there, right? Create DB activity are there, right? So
This
see,
is system tables, right?
yeah, these are the
System. Right.
this is the user defined tables that has been, this database has been created by RDS admin. This has been created by only AWS RDS. You are not,
Okay.
you will not even create any database over there. Table over there. Let's create one table on the RDS admin. Okay. Create
Okay.
table. Let's see. Test. Let's see. Let me try to create. See, create permission denied at the database RDS admin. Get it? By default, you don't have the permission. Concept clear?
Yeah.
Now, but you can create the database. You can create the database simply right click, new database. Okay.
Okay.
Now if you will create the database, new database. See what are the options are available.
Okay.
See.
So every server have one system database default, right?
Come again.
Every SQL server have one system data.
RDS admin database, right?
System database. Yeah.
RDS admin, right? Yeah. Yeah. Now you have to simply give the database name. Let's say I'm giving test DB. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is on the R drive, D drive of the database. You will not supposed to log into that server, right? You don't have any visibility. So simply click there. You can give the name like test DB. Even you will not give, it will automatically take care of that. But you have to only select the database name. Now go to the options.
Okay.
See, these are the options are there. Either you can get the simple recovery model, I can give the full recovery model, I can give the full recovery model or the bulk log. Let me make it the simple recovery model. These are the options which is same as the on premises, right? Now file group, you can even add the file group, right? On that file group, you can add the files and all, right? Let me create the add file group. Let me give the file group name secondary. Okay. Now we will go to the come here. Now let me add the one more file. Let's see file test. Okay. Now which which file groups? Secondary. Okay. Even you can initial change the initial size. Let me give you 100 MB. Okay. You can based on the requirement, boss. Okay. This is the same flavor you are giving at the which we are getting from where? On premises. Any differences you are seeing? I'm not seeing, at least. Most of the features are available. Get it?
Okay. Okay.
Now click OK. So in backend, database is getting created. Okay?
Okay.
This is how we can create the database.
Okay.
Now come to the security logins. You can create the logins as well, right? Simply right click, new login. Now create login. Same flavor, nothing difference, no any differences.
Okay.
See, right? We will only use the SQL authentication here because Windows authentication is not enabled. Okay. So let's see test. Now give the password, right? Now remove the same. I am giving the same flavor, right?
Yeah. Only we can log into the SQL Server via admin and password, right?
Come again?
We can log into the SQL Server RDS by using admin and password, right? Only
Yeah.
user credential. No other authentication.
So
SQL
here
Server.
what happens, let me show you. Because first time I have created the RDS instance, right?
Yeah.
So that you have to first time you have to log in from the admin login only. There is no other option.
Okay.
But later on you can create the login like between on premises, right? See, I am creating the
Yeah,
login.
we can.
Now I can log in.
Create the database user in database.
Yeah. Now we can give
Yeah,
the
okay.
permission also. See, these are server rules available. Let me give this the sysadmin. Now the user mapping. Now you can map same flavor, man. I am not going to inside again, like which we perform on the on premises. Okay. So this database gets created. Now click here.
Okay.
Now let me give you the access like DB owner. Let's see. Yeah, DB reader, data writer. Okay. Now click OK. Now script it out. Password and confirm password do not match. Okay. So I have given something wrong at the password. Okay. Let me check it. Okay, let me. Right?
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Now you can simply let me give you the password. This password is not like that, right? So simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. Make it. Now change it. See, now execute it.
Okay.
Cannot alter the server role sysadmin because it does not exist or it do not have permission. It do not have permission. So sysadmin role cannot be assigned. Okay, sysadmin roles cannot be assigned. Server roles are available, but it cannot use the sysadmin or other roles. Check the login has been created or not. Okay, see, test login is there, right? See, test is created, right? Now coming to here, this database, test database. These are the test database created, right? You can create the table, you can do whatever you wish. Okay, now connect using test login. So this is the same. Now this will be the test. Password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now click. See, connected, right? Get it?
Yeah.
Is it clear or not?
Yeah, clear.
So we can create the logins, right? And we can grant the permission. We can create the database. Even we can drop the database. See, simply click delete. It will get deleted. Okay. When you can get the logs from here also. See, go to management, get to SQL Server logs, click here. See, same thing, man. Same thing. Each and everything is same, right? Why? Multiple errors occur. What happens? Execute permission was denied. Experience error log was not the permission, right? So I am not able to connect. I am not able to check. From which login to be created? Admin, right? It should have permission. Otherwise you have to grant the permission, right? Execute permission you have to grant. Okay.
Okay.
Now coming to here, I was talking about So once you will create the this is the admin login has been created, right? Now let's check what are the default permission this admin login has. I will be about to discuss the same topic in the next class. Okay, just simply properties. See, go to server roles. By default, it will have process admin, setup admin, and public server role access. It does not have sysadmin access. Get it? It does not have sysadmin access. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all about database instances. Okay. I will discuss next feature in the upcoming classes. Okay, but this is how we can provision the SQL Server in the AWS cloud, and how we can connect, how we can monitor, how we can go some performance point of view. Okay, and even we can create the login and grant the access and all. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would go some basic fundamentals of MS SQL. I should learn some basics on
yeah.
MS SQL.
I will suggest you to create provision. Let me drop this database. See, database has been dropped. I will suggest to you have the account, deploy free AWS SQL Server instance, okay, on RDS, and do some activities, man. Try to explore the features which is available, because this is the free of course, right? You can do what you can wish. Okay. Get it?
Yeah, good.
Go to RDS. So should I left it, or you will drop it, or I can drop it?
I will drop it.
Okay, so I am not deleting the database in RDS instance. Okay.
Okay.
Just connect. So how? Yeah. So this will be one task for you. So try to connect the RDS instance from your own laptop. Okay.
Okay.
It will not allow. It will not connect. From where you will? How to fix that? I have shown you. Now your turn. How to fix that one? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am not dropping this one. Okay. Make sure that after your testing and all, make sure that to delete this RDS instance.
Okay. Now 2 snapshots has been created, right? So it will be created automatically. Snapshots.
Go to the backup.
Snapshots.
Snapshot is not there, right?
But when you
SQL instance is there. Hold on. So 17,427. Now come to here.
30 minutes, I think. Sometime.
Sorry, 27. This is a snapshot of what? Snapshot of instance, right? Snapshot of instance. Minutes.
Automatic create.
Yeah, this is the snapshot of instance, right? You can restore snapshot. I can copy, you can delete snapshot, right?
Okay.
Right. Now go to the backup, automated backup. This is the go to here.
Okay.
Now come to here. What are the backups are available? Okay. Click on here. See database engine. Okay. Now come to here. Recents or not. Hold on. Automated snapshot are there, right? Automated was there, right?
Yeah.
Now click here. You can restore the snapshot. Simply click restore. You can restore the snapshot. In the next class, we will discuss, how to restore the database, how to perform the point-in-time recovery and all. Okay. You can see this will get restored, right?
Yeah.
Means another instance will be restored. DB instance will be restored, right? Not one single database is going to be restored. This is going to restore whole instance, because this is the snapshot at the instance level, right? Not at the database level.
Yeah.
Get it?
Okay. Oh, it's instance level. Okay. Easy to instance level. You are telling.
Instance level, yeah. Now click here. Your system snapshot, right?
Okay.
So next topic, we will discuss about the backup and restore. Okay, how to point-in-time recovery, how to perform the database backup, or other topics I will discuss. Okay.
Okay, sure.
That's all for today.
Yeah.
So just time.
Thanks, Ajay. Yeah. Can you send